back to the channel. So today I am going to talk about, well, the current quarantine thing and how it's actually very related to the Blitz. So unfortunately this whole thing actually pulled out the biggest noobs of the Blitz, just into the game again, because I guess they have nothing better to do than play World of Tanks Blitz and just ruin everybody's experience. So I'm not actually blaming people for joining the game, but what do I blame people for? So I blame parents when they actually buy their kids, overpowered premium things like Progetto that have been in store, or I mean, it's not really overpowered, but it's definitely close. As you can see, another defeat in the game. So this is my actually inbox. So notifications: defeat, 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 one victory, defeat, defeat, victory, defeat, defeat, victory, defeat, defeat, victory, victory, defeat, defeat, defeat. So yes, it's pretty terrible. My win rate has been dropped significantly. So it was like 50.30 when all of this started. Yes, 50.30. I'm not a good player, and I mean, I am an average player, good at some things, bad at the others, but this just sucks. It's never been so bad. So let's get to the main topic again. So why do I blame some parents? Well, because they just give their children, everything they want, including premium things in the game. So, or even, not trying to protect their PIN or personal identification number, on their cards from their children, and their children just keep buying things, like tanks in the game. So why is this bad? Well, let me give you an example. So let's say that this kid doesn't have a clue, or he really likes this game, but he's like 12 or 13 years old and actually doesn't really understand the real concept of this game, how do you need to behave in the battle to actually win one battle, and the next thing happens. So I don't know, this kid has a birthday, and just for example, his parents decide to actually do thing for him that makes him really happy, and instead buy him a bicycle or something actually useful in life. They decide to buy him a premium tank in the game because he really wants it and doesn't have a clue how to actually maneuver in it or deal damage in it or anything like that. And the next thing happens. They buy him that tank, for example, T-22 medium or Progetto, or it doesn't really matter. So they buy him this tank, and this kid just rolls in the battle, thinks I'm almighty in this game because I have this premium tank that is just sickly overpowered. And the thing that happens next, he loses. He loses so much because he sucks so much, because he's, after all, just a kid, he doesn't know angles, he doesn't know anything in practice. I don't blame kids for this. Kids are kids. I blame parents because they let them do that. you will not teach your kid. This is every day's topic. It's not just related in Blitz or anything. You will just teach your kid to, he will be able to get everything in life from you, and that's not how it works, especially in Blitz, but this is example for real life also. And the next thing happens, so he loses, and constantly he just loses matches, and he actually pisses off some good players who would really like to have this thing, but they don't want to spend any more money in this game because they know how it will end. And they're pissed, and they just give up the game, And players like me, I actually love this game, and I play it for it will be 6 years now, I think it will be an anniversary in the summer, I think. So what happens? The following happens. So the old players are just pissed off, because they already know how to play the game. And as I said, they don't want to spend any unnecessary money into the game, and they go away. Why? Well, because it would be definitely okay with me if this was a pay-to-win game, but it definitely turned out that this is a pay-to-lose game, Well, just because of the people like this, in my opinion, only good players. I mean, I'm an average player and I enjoy T22 medium because I know how to play it. My stats actually are a reflection of my young playerhood, So because I sucked at the beginning, like every player, and I actually didn't go up tiers, like to my second year in the game, or like third year in the game, So that's why I actually have only 5 tier 10s right now. Some players would probably have most of the tier 10s right now because they probably unlocked the whole game till now, but I didn't want to do that because I actually wanted to stick with lower tiers as long as possible till I catch a grip on the game, and actually it took me a long time, and in that time, because all the noobs are pretty much in the lower tiers, you cannot actually win some battles, and that's actually why I have this statistics, sorry, here. So average damage per battle, 800, average XP per battle 480, it's not like in tier 10 I actually do I don't know, 800 or 1000 XP average, and like 3 to 4k, maybe 2 in some battles, average damage per battle, but actually it's just because I got stuck in the, silk clubbing in the early dates of the game, and also it reflected on my win rate. But I actually improved myself in the game, and I don't do the same mistakes as I did before. And I really hate when people do this, they don't know how to play, and they just, buy premium things that are broken, and they actually don't win. They just don't win, When you actually think of this concept, you would say, it's broken, everyone will win in it, just because it's broken, I cannot penetrate it. But that's not the case. I bet that when you look at the statistics of the player, and he has I don't know, WZ 120, the most overpowered tier 8 tank almost, and I don't know, he has excellent armor, excellent gun, excellent maneuverability, turning rate around the tank. So what happens? You're probably the one that actually got in the wrong battle in the wrong time. So they will probably destroy you, but will be destroyed 70% of the time, you know, and that's just bad luck. And I think that actually, what is bad? So the bad thing is that actually bad players are getting rewarded in this game. They are not getting reported. They are not getting anything, you know. And what happened in the recent years? So this happened. Most of the good players gave up because they definitely didn't want to pay for the game anymore, you know, and such things. But when that happened, most of the noobs in the game actually stayed because they like overpowered things, you know. They like things like that are just extreme. I also love these things. Every player in the game likes these things. But what's the difference? They will stay because they have the money, you know. They will be able to buy things in the game that they really, really love. And I actually don't think that's a bad thing. But the bad thing is when they actually get rewarded. So what wargaming did, there's no certain proof of it, you know, but many players actually told me, actually they didn't told me, I read on Pentafluis and Skate Extremes Discord that many players actually that did the second account when they opened these containers. So where are they? So the big container. In this you previously had tanks like Su-76I and, you know, T-15 or some of the pretty much broken tanks that are actually that are not actually available anymore, you know, because the wargaming knows that they are broken, you know. They were tier 3 with either great gun or either great armor. So wargaming did not sell them anymore because they knew that were just broken. So, and if any of those things were in the shop right now, I would probably buy like T-15, not SU, but T-15 would be my choice. And what happened? So the following happened. Many players that made another account on the first container or the second, they got these things, you know. I only got actually 2 tanks from the crates, T-15 and the Super Piercing, and that's actually it. Yes, and T-32. So 3 tanks actually, and that's basically it. So what actually gets me the most? That new players are actually treated better than the old players, and that's, in my opinion, total bullshit. Well, why? Because when new players get treated than the old ones, what happens? Of course, the old players decide that there is no anymore reason for them to stay in the game, you know, because all the new players are getting benefits or something like that, you know. And what I actually think it's the worst thing, that many of the new players are lured into the trap, you know, of buying premium tanks. Well, just look at the tutorial, if you remember it. So, when you get into the tutorial and a few battles after tutorial, you will actually notice that there are just bots, you know, or I don't know. Yes, they are actually bots in the tutorial and in the beginning of the game. And what wargaming tells you with this message? So they tell you that you are the best, you will encounter such players on the battlefield, and that you are actually the king of the battlefield. Well, you're not. There will always be a better player than you. Always. So I think that's pretty bad what they did. And what I actually wanted to say next. So yes, the thing I wanted to talk about was the quarantine, as I said. So what's the bad about this quarantine except the events around the world? So let's forget about that for a bit. So what happened? Too many noobs were pulled out, as I said, and that's because, I don't know, some kid or player that got bored with the game sooner or later decided, hey, why shouldn't I play Blitz one more time, or something like that, and they get addicted again. And trust me, there is no the greater era for the noobs than this quarantine. Yes, there is a shorter waiting time in the matchmaking and things like that, but trust me, that is not better, because when you have one medium in the game, if that man is a noob, you're screwed. So I wasn't the only one. I will show you a replay. I wasn't the only one, but let me show you this. So where is it? Yes, mine's. So here is it. Lorraine and Pantera were the only actually mediums in the game. So let me show you what happened. I actually, in my opinion, did good. I held my position till the end. And yes, this E75 is also, I think, a new player, because he's not in the clan, and he obviously ran me. But look at this Pantera. What is he doing? Look, he just died right there. Yes, I only said thanks because, in my opinion, it's better that these kind of players die immediately than they actually, just stay the last ones, and I actually get irritated even more. So, what was special about this game? Actually, nothing so much. I just wanted to show you that Pantera, but let's watch this clip to the end. So, what I wanted to talk about more. So, yes, about the noobs. It's not their fault. It's actually Wargaming's fault, because they are approving this behavior, and I totally don't approve it, because they're just ruining experience for everyone. Stay in the lower tiers, guys. If you don't know how to play just yet, stay in the lower tiers. You won't ruin the day for the other players, and it will be definitely easier for you. The higher tiers are not for everyone. I don't mean that the players that don't know how to play higher tiers just yet are disabled or anything. I just think that it takes time, just to actually learn how to play in higher tiers, because in most of higher tiers you will not be able to, play most with the skilled players. But let me tell you something. You will probably get in the position that even one player on the enemy side is actually skilled, and this happens next. You accidentally bump into one of those skilled players, and what happens? You die. And that's how you actually lose a match, if you die prematurely, if you die the same second you spawned on the spawn. So don't do it, guys. It will be a great time without players that don't know how to play just yet. I understand players that don't understand how to play. Well, I mean, I do to some extent. I get players that have like 5,000 battles or less, that they don't know how to play quite, just yet. But players that have like 26k battles and have like 43 win rate percent, I just despise them, because I don't I don't want to tell them they're stupid. But come on, man, how hard does it have to be to understand the basics of physics, the basics of logic, how to angle, how to read data from the I don't know, the statistics, how to know that data. It isn't hard. It isn't hard at all, and yet so many people fails on this task, on this simple task, So that's why I told you don't actually go to the heavies. I wouldn't recommend you at the first, because heavies are skill dependent things. Mediums are not so much. So you should try mediums at first, And I don't know, this quarantine made me crazy, made me rage so much that I haven't raged so much in my life, because just people are idiots. We gotta accept that. As one smart man on the Reddit said, nothing is idiot proof, because how he said it. Yes, nothing is idiot proof, because the God is the perfect engineer and he makes idiots. Yes, that's how he said it. And congratulations on that man, how he said it. Definitely, because you cannot protect yourself from the idiots. You can just make these videos like me, or something to do to actually make you feel better about it. So I don't really know how I'm going to handle this thing anymore, because it just sucks when you see such players on the battlefield that don't know how to use their brains, And I'm really sorry for everyone, and anyone and everyone probably got their experience in the game ruined and their win rate lowered, because of the people like this. So you gotta remember, when you die, you don't pull yourself down, you pull the whole team down. Everyone on that team will probably die, and this is the biggest advice of this video. So guys, there are so many situations that in which teams are unbalanced. There is only one medium tank in the game, on your team, and there are just like one medium and one light or two light tanks on the enemy team. So what should you do next? You do not rush, you follow heavies, you go on the heavy side. Why? Well, because probably when that happens, you want to be with your team, because you will be rushed and you want to survive to the minimum of 4 minutes of battle. You probably won't survive because you're a medium tank, and you will probably have like there is no possibility of 4 heavies anymore in the team. You will probably have 3 heavies and 2 tank destroyers, actually 3 heavies and 3 tank destroyers if you're the only one. So just don't rush, go with your heavies. And I definitely had a few situations when I was a heavy tank and we had like one medium tank and they just died in the beginning of the battle, and everyone had a hard time because of that, because there is no one else to spot, and definitely I think there are higher chance if your heavies die and this one medium survives, then if that medium actually dies and heavy survives, because there will be no one to spot, and you will just die miserably and fail miserably. So you should go to the heavy side. I had so many battles. As I remember, I had one recent battle. I don't know if I told you about it, but I had one recent battle with ST1, and we had like 3 heavies, and I think 3 tank destroyers and 1 medium, and he said, hey, why shouldn't we rush to the hill, because you're all slow, you should get there sooner or later, and I will just rush the hill. And I don't know for what reason our heavies actually told him, yes, okay, we will go there, and tank destroyers also agreed, and then we went there. And of course I died first because I was the slowest. I had like 80% of my crew, and that's really, really low. And I died. He called me an idiot. I don't know why. Well, because you should go with your team, and that's what I did. But we should have go to the city, because that's what heavies should do. They should stick with the city, and if there is no like 3 mediums in the team, do not go for the hill. Do not go for the hill, because you will get screwed totally. Okay, guys, that's for that's the content of me for today, and see you next time. Peace out.